Hey guys, Danny Johnson here, and today's video is on the 2001 Ford Mustang SVT Cobra. For 2001, the biggest news was that the Cobra was back. As you may know, for the year 2000, they canceled the Cobras except for the Cobra R in order to fix the horsepower issues they were experiencing in 1999. Cosmetically speaking, one of the biggest changes up front were the new darkened headlights, and this was new for all of the 2001 Mustangs. The 2001 Cobra had the same hood as the 1999 Cobra, and this hood appears very sleek but actually has some pretty big cowl to it. In fact, it'll actually accommodate positive displacement superchargers and some other bigger things that you might do. And the magazine articles, however, were starting to criticize this hood because compared to the new Mustang GT's big bulky hood scoop, it didn't appear as powerful, but it is a good hood. This same 1999 and 2001 Cobra hood would also later appear on some of the 2003 and 2004 V6 models. Up front, the Cobra still had the Cobra Delete grille. As you'll notice, there's a special panel there with no honeycomb in the background, and the same front bumper with the circular round fog lights. Interestingly enough, the side scoops were still the same as the 99 and 2000 and what was offered on the V6 Mustangs. Even though in 2001 they did go to that nice bulky side scoop, the Cobra didn't get that, possibly for budget reasons. The wheels offered on the 01 Cobra were similar to these ones here on the 1999, however now you did have an option to go chrome with them. The Cobra had 13-inch brakes up front and 11.65 in the rear. The front brakes were a very nice dual piston setup with the lettering Cobra, similar to the Cobras of past. This would stop the car in about 128 feet from 60 miles an hour. Coming around to the rear of the car, the Cobra's got the export taillights with the amber color for the turn signal. This was now becoming an SVT trend as we saw on the 99 Cobra and the 2000 Cobra R. Some of these taillights now sell for about $700 just because they're so rare and they were a Ford-only part. The SVT badge on the back was slightly different. Now it didn't say Cobra underneath it. It was just simply says SVT. Kind of a clean look, but I'll show you a picture here of what the badge used to look like on the 99. In 2001, a new wing was offered for the V6 and the GT. This was now an option for the Cobra. The 01 Cobra convertible also had a new cover that dipped down in the center for better visibility. The lettering Cobra now appeared in the rear bumper. Otherwise, this was the same rear bumper as the standard Mustang GT, or the previous 99 Cobra for that matter. The 2001 Cobra's independent rear suspension was similar to the 1999, however now it had a 31 spline differential and slightly upgraded half shafts. The stock gears on the 01 Cobra still remained at 3.27s, so I wish that would have been a little bit better of a ratio, but that's what Ford was sticking with at the time. Now the big question on everyone's mind was, would the 01 Cobra make the 320 horsepower as advertised? And so Car and Driver magazine, which was one of the magazines that discovered the problem with the 99, had Ford send them a car that they tested, and the car put down 272 horsepower to the rear wheels. And so they were wondering if Ford had maybe just slipped them one of the more healthy Cobras, and they decided that they were going to ask for another test car. So when Ford sent them another test car, which was a white convertible, they snuck it over to the dyno and had both cars dynoed back to back. And they actually both put down identical numbers of 272 horsepower at the wheels. So calculating in a drivetrain loss, that was about that would need about a 17% drivetrain loss in order to make the 320 horsepower, which was pretty fair considering maybe it was even a hotter day in California. And it is fair also to mention that the independent rear suspension will have a little more parasitic loss through the drivetrain, and so a 17% correction was pretty good, and so it did prove that the Cobra did in fact make the 320 advertised horsepower. Other than that, the engines were pretty much the same. The 99 Cobra and the 01 Cobra did have a different front timing cover, and pulleys were moved around and the belt routing was changed. And I'm sure all the 01 Cobras had the better intake manifold, the better exhaust that the 99 upgrade included. But other than that, Ford was able to make that 320 horsepower claim. Now, the 99 Cobra had a Texid aluminum block, Texid being a company from Italy, the same company that Ferrari uses for its blocks. And some of these 99 blocks were said to have also transferred into the 01 Cobra, but for the most part the 01 Cobra was supposed to have the WAP block, and that stands for Windsor Assembly Plant. They're both aluminum blocks, they're both okay, they're both going to hold 1,000 horsepower, and so you're going to break connecting rods before even getting to that level anyway, but anyway, it's worth mentioning that the Cobras did have the aluminum block. Now, of those two, the Texid block is by far a better block. It's heat treated, it's going to hold more horsepower. So if you're going to do a big build with your car and make tons of power, maybe you'll be lucky enough to have the Texid block in the car. But like I said, anywhere up to 1,000 horsepower, it really doesn't matter. Car and Driver has some official performance times as 4.8 seconds to 60 and the quarter mile at 13.5 at 105 miles per hour. All 2001 Cobras received the new TR3650 Tremec transmission. This replaced the T45, and mid-year in 2001, all the rest of the Mustang GTs would also get the same transmission, and all Bullitt Mustangs for 01 received the TR3650 5-speed as well. As for the interior of the 01 Cobra, it was similar to the 99 in the fact that you could get black interior or the brown, and the new seats matched this. These new seats were a special design that now had suede down the middle, where the older 99 Cobra seats were pretty similar to that found in the Mustang GT. If you look at the seats that came in the 2001 Mustang Bullitt GT, you'll notice that they're the same as the 01 Cobra, just all leather. As you can see, the new seats had the snake logo in the middle, and a few minor changes also occurred, and this was more just because it was now the 2001 body style. You'll notice the cup holder orientation was different. It was in a different location. You now had two cup holder places. The Cobra also got a leather parking brake boot, and the center section there with the radio was the biggest change. You had your three buttons down below, the defrost, the traction control, and the fog lights, and of course, one single DIN area with the bigger radio and 6-disc in-dash CD player. The Cobra still had the 160 mile an hour, 6,800 RPM redline white face gauges. However, just as a 2001 thing, these now lit up a green color rather than the older tealish blue color. So for 2001, Ford produced a total of 7,251 Cobras. 3,867 of these were coupes, 3,384 were convertibles. This was 347 zinc yellow coupes, 316 zinc yellow convertibles, 556 laser red coupes, 548 laser red convertibles, then 226 performance red coupes, and 130 performance red convertibles, 316 true blue coupes, and only 292 true blue convertibles, 514 mineral gray Cobra coupes, and 382 convertibles, 979 black coupes, and 942 black convertibles, 556 silver coupes, and 431 silver convertibles, 373 white coupes, and only 343 white convertibles. So in comparison to 1999, that means we didn't have electric green show up again for the year 2001. However, you still did get every other color that was offered in 1999, which included white, red, and black. Each Cobra would come with its own letter of authenticity for the car, showing the VIN and that it was an SVT vehicle. And something interesting about the price was that if you had ordered a 2000 Cobra, which was discontinued, you were still going to be honored with that price. So you could go in and buy an 01 Cobra for the same price that they were selling the 2000s for, or would have sold the 2000s for. Otherwise, the price went up a little bit for the 2001 Cobra, and it ranged from about $29,000 for the coupe and in the $33,000 range for the convertible. So anyway, this is my presentation of the 2001 SVT Cobra. I really appreciate you watching it. I remember the first time I drove an 01 Cobra, my uncle had one, and that was the first car that literally blurred my vision when I hit the gas pedal, going from a V6 to this 320 horsepower, 6,800 redline RPM, high revving modular V8. So great car. If you happen to own one, or if you have, then let me know in the comments. And in the comments, go ahead and put anything else in this video that I might have missed, or any comments that you'd like to say. Thanks for watching.